As a name that is known worldwide, Helen Keller is a symbol of courage and hope. Yet, she is much more than a name and a symbol. She was a woman of outstanding intelligence, unwavering determination, unbelievable courage, and insurmountable achievement. Tonight, we continue her legacy and her hope to hasten the day when there shall be no preventable blindness. Without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the 2016 Helen Keller Prize for Vision Research laureate, Dr. Dean Bach. Dr. Bach. This time, I will present Dr. Bach with the Helen Keller Medallion. And also, Dr. Bach, we have for you an unrestricted honorarium. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. When I met Keller Thompson Johnson this morning, having looked at this marvelous book that she sent to me a couple of weeks ago called From Her Mind to Your Mind, I saw Helen Keller's face. Helen Keller was a beautiful woman, and I encourage all of you to get a copy of this book and educate yourself on the extraordinary accomplishments of this amazing woman. She was the ultimate, really, in faith, insight, compassion, tolerance, eloquence, persistence. Mark Twain and Albert Einstein gave her their highest accolades, as did many around the world, not only emperors, kings, presidents, but of course, the people who'd lost their sight and their hearing. I am so honored to follow in the footsteps of many people in this room. Emily Chu, Rick Ferris, Gordon Legg, Bob Massoff, Elle Summer. Helen Keller not only mastered the process of reading, she read in 4 languages. She wrote 13 books. She learned to speak. She graduated cum laude from Radcliffe College before women were allowed to attend Harvard. And I am just in awe of the accomplishments of this person. As Mark Twain said, she will be famous 1,000 years from now, as famous as she is today. And I have no doubt about that. Now, some final thoughts. I've been in this for a long time, this business, and I early on became associated with the Foundation Fighting Blindness. It was then called the Retinitis Pigmentosa Foundation. And one day, they invited a bunch of us to attend a meeting which was held in Canada, sponsored by the Canadian and American foundations. These were the best people in vision science at the time, people working on retina and things of that nature, related nature. I remember the Canadian president of that foundation telling us, "You will not leave this building until we see the white puffs of smoke coming from the chimney," conjuring up an analogy with the Vatican. Well, we didn't have a clue. Retinitis pigmentosa sounded like an inflammatory disease, which it's not. Blood vessel attenuation really doesn't have anything to do with that in the primary sense. A brilliant young physical biochemist from Hopkins named appropriately Richard Cohn cones are our color photoreceptors, said, I think it might have something to do with rhodopsin. And we all snickered. You know, this bright guy, naive, doesn't know anything about clinical stuff. Well, he turned out to be right. 1989, Peter Humphreys published the gene association on chromosome 1. In 1990, Ted Drija, Elliot Burson published the first rhodopsin mutation, P23H. Ironically, it doesn't exist much in Ireland. This Irish guy apparently migrated to the United States, waxed plentifully, and that's the most common mutation we have in America. So I was there at the beginning of that. I have seen so many things happen. Probably one of the more satisfying things was the very first really successful gene trial. And it happened in vision. And it happened in the context of a condition called Leber congenital amaurosis. In 1998, I collaborated with Mike Redmond, Grosley Crouch, Duko Hamasaki on the knockout of the gene responsible for this, called RPE65. And 10 years later, we had our first human clinical trial. So that shows you how the pace is building up. Corey Haas, treated at the age of 8, couldn't negotiate a maze, and he now plays baseball catch with his father and rides a bicycle. Folks, I would say that we've seen the first puffs of white smoke, and I would say that it's starting to billow, and it's looking, I think, very promising for all of us. Thank you so much to the Helen Keller and Bright Focus Foundation for this tremendous honor, and thank you all for coming.